Hi, I'm Elena Cantrell Robinson, and this is my review of Data and Goliath, The Hidden Battles to Collect Your Data and Control Your World by Bruce Schneier. The purpose of Data and Goliath is to warn about the misuse and abuse of our personal data, as well as the surveillance that we endure on a normal day. Consumers are allowing their data to be stored and distributed by corporations in exchange for free web search, entertainment, photo storage, email, and other services. In Data and Goliath, Schneier contends that today's consumers have sold their data too cheaply. Schneier writes the book with a great deal of paranoia. In his chapter, Solution for the Rest of Us, he suggests avoiding or distorting surveillance by using cash, altering your driving route to avoid cameras, using someone else's grocery card, and my favorite, dressing in drag. You need a thick skin to read or listen to Data and Goliath. Schneier does not pull any punches on how delusional he thinks the average consumer is for using cell phones and not doing more to stay off the grid. He admits they're useful, but you get the idea that he turns his phones off when he's not using it. The first page of the book starts out in paranoia. If you need to be convinced that you're living in a science fiction world, look at your cell phone. This cute, sleek, incredibly powerful tool has become so central to our lives that we take it for granted. Yet, every morning when you put your cell phone in your pocket, you are making an implicit bargain with the carrier. I want to make and receive mobile calls. In exchange, I allow this company to know where I am at all times. Stated that way, it is a bit creepy, but I like my iPhone, and I like knowing the location of the members of my immediate family. I like the information that I have access to. The Internet of Things has just started, and so far I've enjoyed the convenience. Schneier wrote a doomsday book about all the bad and little discussion on the benefits consumers receive for allowing the intrusion. In the closing chapter, he discusses the collective data of the masses and actually gives the green light to the medical community to collect our health data for the greater good, for research. And he even admits that the data may be used for unintended purposes. But in his mind, and I quote, "It seems obvious to me that the communal use of data should take precedence. Others disagree." Wow, am I supposed to use my neighbor's grocery card so that United doesn't know that I like Dot's pretzels? But it's okay for some medical conglomerate to have all my health data for research and potentially use it against me? Even though it has been 8 years since this was written, the book reads like it was recently published. Schneier wrote a very thorough book, carefully outlining the path that we are going down when it comes to our personal privacy and the use of our data. Data and Goliath was published in 2015, and it's now 2023. Very little has changed with regard to securing our personal data. We are still battling the same problems, and it is getting worse. At this time, very little of the information shared on social media sites is protected by the Federal Trade Commission guidelines, which concentrate on personally identifiable information. There has been some indication that the FTC may look into regulating some data collection, but adding new regulation is a long process. Now is the time for policy change. But unfortunately, we have aging legislatures that have been reluctant to get involved and probably do not understand the internet or the government, corporations, and the public's insatiable appetite for data. And then TikTok happens. The Chinese company exploded on the scene during the pandemic. TikTok specializes in short videos that entertain and is wildly popular in the under 35 demographic. The problem is that it's very likely that the Chinese government has access to the personal data of every person that uses the TikTok platform. There have been hearings over these problems, but you can tell that our elected legislatures are woefully out of touch with emerging technology concepts. I am a professional drone pilot, and I have a DJI Mavic Pro 2. It takes gorgeous pictures, videos, and has GPS. I shoot ranches, often in the middle of nowhere, and I have location services enabled because I need to know where my drone is and where the footage was shot. Are my photos being sent to China? I don't think so. My locations are very remote and we have no Wi-Fi, but it is something to consider. Am I going to get rid of my phone? I can't imagine doing that, which means that I'm part of the problem, according to Bruce Schneier. I may be like Pinocchio and seduced by Pleasure Island, but I like this reality. And I hope we can figure out a way for consumers to have more say in what is happening to their data.